Hey, this is Retired Geek Woman, Adventures with Rhiannon, Stardew Valley, 1.5 Retired Slow Play, part number 78. We're going to take up where we left off, which was day 18 of summer in year number 3. You can just see we topped over 330,000 in the bank, so that's awesome. That gives us a lot of working capital. We don't need a whole lot right now, but it's nice to have it anyway. And look at all these beautiful melons out here. And you can see my little Junimos running around checking to see what's ready to be harvested. And I got some tomatoes I see there, but I love it that they take care of it for me. It lets me be able to do other things. So I'm really glad that I was able to get the Junimo huts up and running. And if you don't know what that's about, you got to watch previous episodes. And so we're going to run around and do our morning chores just like we do every day at the start of our episodes. And I have done polls and asked my subscribers to give their opinions on whether or not they want to see all of this morning chores, which are generally pretty much the same. And the vote was yes. So if you have a different opinion, you can go search for that poll and give a different opinion. And I do listen to some things that my subscribers say. That was definitely one of them. Because I've seen playthroughs where people have kind of edited all that out or sped it up or whatever. And so I just asked what do you guys think, and that was the consensus. So your opinion matters. It doesn't mean I'll take your opinions all the time, but it means I will definitely listen to you on some things. If you're a first-time viewer, I do have quite a few. I'm so excited to get to know you guys. I hope that you will subscribe if you haven't already. And I definitely welcome comments and things. I love when people introduce themselves and say they've been watching for a long time and first comment. And so I love all that. That makes me so happy. It makes me feel like I'm doing something that other people find interesting and worth their time watching. I'm really working at getting the length of my videos down. I'm trying to stay down at least below an hour and closer to 45 minutes, and some of them are even shorter. I know people are busy, and so I want to provide content that you guys have time to watch as well as finding something interesting. So anyway, your input is really welcome, and I really wanted to welcome you to my channel. I also wanted to mention that I've started something new that I'm really think is going to be a little bit fun. Sometime during this video, I'm going to give you a secret word. I don't know what to call it yet. Secret word of the day. I want you to take that secret word that I will speak only, and then I want you, and look at these star fruits. Look at all these star fruits. Isn't that awesome? I want you to use that secret word in a sentence in the comments. So down below, there's a place to put comments, and I would like for you to figure out how to use that word in a sentence. And I do not want it to say the secret word is whatever. I'll delete your comment if you do that. I want you to use the secret word in a sentence, and I think that'll be kind of fun. So listen through the video. At some point, I will mention it. And no, it's not going to be at the end, so you're going to have to pay attention. And if you think it's silly, you can even make a comment that you think it's silly. I don't care. It doesn't matter. I mean, I'm doing this for two reasons. I'm doing it for me, and I'm doing it for you. So the more people that I interact with, the more people that I can talk with, the more people I can get their opinions. That's great. That's what I'm looking for. What I'm doing now is those star fruits that you just saw me harvest. I love it when they get harvested. It's so awesome. I try to make enough seed packets to go replant, which I need 24. I really don't want to get too many. I don't want 28 or 30. That happens sometimes because you get 1 to 3 packets per seed. I got exactly 24, which is exactly what I needed, so I didn't have any extras. The rest of these star fruits, we're going to go and put them in the shed that has the kegs, and we're going to make wine. So you can see the rest of this greenhouse. If you haven't seen this before, that is my ancient fruit. That's my huge money maker. Now, star fruit wine, if you've aged it, is worth more per bottle than the ancient fruit wine, but you got to go through and do the seeds and replant them and all of that, whereas the ancient fruits, those will stay in that greenhouse forever. You never have to pick them up. You never have to do anything. They're growing, and they will continue to produce fruit in forever. So that's why I think that the ancient fruit is more valuable. There's some people that's all they farm is ancient fruit wine. Well, if you're only about the money and not about enjoying other things in the game, then more power to you. For me, it's not about that. It's about having a fully functioning, self-sufficient farm, and I'm not in a big hurry. So again, if you look at the title of these videos, they are called Retired Slow Play. And that's how I play games. I am retired. I've always played games, real slow to enjoy them in whatever way. And I think it's even more so now. I kind of avoid games that have a lot of fighting in them. I just don't enjoy that part. Sometimes you can't avoid it. Like in Stardew Valley, you have to You have to go in the mines. We're going to have to eventually go to Skull Cavern. So there's things that we're going to have to do, but it's not a ton of fighting. We can avoid it for the most part. But I like retired, slow games. I like to enjoy myself and relax, and I don't want to get tense. I feel when I'm playing something like Skyrim, which I've started a playthrough on that, I feel like I'm tense. I'm waiting for something to come out from behind a rock and try to kill me, and I just don't like that. I never liked it very much, and I'm liking it even less as I get older. You can see my beautiful giant cauliflower. Isn't that beautiful? I'll never stop saying that. I was trying to get a giant cauliflower crop for 11 game years of my previous save file, and I never got a cauliflower. So I'm going to keep really enjoying that one. I want melons to be the other one. And how you get those is you put 9 plants of the one of the 3. It can only be cauliflower, melons, and pumpkins. So those 3 different seasons. You put 9 plants together and make sure they're watered. And sometimes those 9 plants will turn into a giant crop. And in this case, all I'm doing is making a giant crop for decoration. I think it looks really cool. I saw it on the forums. There's a place that you can do screenshots of your farms. And I just looked through all the farms that I thought were really cool. And bits and pieces of them has what's culminated in how this farm's going to look. So I just wanted to mention I love those giant crops. And I've only ever gotten pumpkins. Ever. So I was so excited to see that giant cauliflower. At the end of this season, if we don't get a melon, then I'll probably plant the pumpkins. But when it comes summertime, next summer, the 4th year, I will plant the melons again because that's what I want. I think you saw me gather the things that the Junimos had collected for us. Next to the Junimo hut, there's a little bag there, and that means there's something that they've harvested for you. So I went over and grabbed that. I had tomatoes and blueberries. Those are the 2 additional crops aside from the melons that I plant in the summer, and both of those have multiple harvests throughout the season. So the plants don't go away, they're still there. So generally, as you can see, what I've done is around the edges or the perimeter of my planting area is where I put those plants that have multiple harvests, and then in the middle, I put the main crop of the season. In this case, it's going to be these melons. I think I might have also done some red cabbages. Not sure. I can't remember. But anyway, that's kind of how I do it. I will grow different things. So however many harvests I'm able to get out of the season, like whenever these are all done, these melons are done, they're going to pick them all up, then I will probably go through and plant them again if I have time, if I have enough time to grow an entire round. So we'll see how that goes. And if I don't, then I plant other things. So I like to have a variety. I think it breaks up the boredom, and I'll eventually use them. I'll put them in the preserve jars or whatever. So it's not a waste of time and money. What I'm doing now is, and I've talked about this off and on previous episodes, is it's time for me to replace the cobblestone pathways with this weathered, I forget what they call it, the weathered wood flooring. I think it looks really cool on the farm. And I have shown what my 11-year playthrough, my 11-year save looks like with this weathered flooring. And I just love the way it looks, all seasons. So, I mean, some seasons this cobblestone looks really cool and some it doesn't. And so I think the weathered wood one definitely looks a lot better. In some episodes, I do progress screenshots. So I'll show what our farm looked like on the day we moved in and planted those few parsnips that Mayor Lewis gave us. And then I show what it currently looks like as of the time of the screenshot. And then I also show the 11-year save that I have and what that farm looks like so that you can get an idea of where I'll be going with it. And I'm going to change a few things, but not a whole lot. That's basically the layout that I'm happy about, that I'm excited about, that I think will work for me. It worked for me before, and I'm having trouble figuring out. It's like, do I want to change certain things? Maybe a few, but for the most part, that's how it's going to look. So I do those progression screenshots every once in a while. I do put them in the titles of my videos so that you can look for them if that's all you want to see. But I hope not. I hope you're listening and enjoying what you're seeing and watching all the way to the end, because you never know what's going to happen. And, you know, surprises come along. So, oh, look at it. It's 5:20. And at 5 o'clock, the animals make their march towards their respective buildings in the coop and the barn. And I think it's so fun to watch. It's like, okay, off they go for the night. And they go into their barns and get ready to sleep. In the wintertime, they stay in the coops and the barns. Then I also shut the doors, and that is simply a role-playing thing, period, because there's absolutely no reason to shut the doors because they don't go out. And I've got heaters located in the I'm not a very good job, am I? I've got heaters located inside, and they can, oops, got an extra one there, and that'll keep them warm and makes them happier. So you want your animals to be happy. With those the full hearts that you have with your animals, you have a better chance of getting iridium quality products from them. So aside from just wanting your animals to be happy because it's a good thing to do, you can also get better quality products. So there's also a second reason why, really. So as you can see, right there above us, if you haven't seen that before, is Grandpa's Shrine. If you don't know what that is, watch a previous episode because I talk all about it. And so you can see that it's going to take quite a bit of wood, but we are actually getting very close to having this all done and all replaced. It's getting very close there. And I'm also been at all this whole area down below where we've got our decoration. I got to be really careful with that. I do not want to hit the cauliflower by mistake with the right tool, which I currently don't know which one it is. I think it's actually the pickaxe, but I don't want to hit that and accidentally break that up, because it'll break it up and just make a whole bunch of cauliflowers. So I think you've seen that happen before, because occasionally in the main planting field you'll get one of those giant crops and it's really cool, but I don't want it up there. I don't want to leave it there. So I just go ahead and break it up. So I think that may have happened in previous seasons. I'm not sure. I'm almost confident that it's happened before, and you've seen me break it up, and it just makes a whole bunch. I think I actually had a melon, I think, which I was like, oh no, I don't want it here. I want it down there. It's like, all right, no big deal. But I don't want to break this one up, so I'm being very careful when I'm replacing all of the stone and careful there. There we go, because I want this to look really cool. And this is the cauliflower and hopefully the melon are simply for decoration. The honey is not for decoration. It is for producing. They're bee houses. The bee houses are for honey production. And I've got that all set up. You can see there is a little flower that's planted in between. If you put flowers around your bee houses, then you're going to get higher quality honey. So that's actually one of my revenue streams, which y'all have heard me talk about, having different revenue streams in a business. And this is a business. Our farm is a business. So I want to make sure that I have different revenue streams, and having the bee houses is one of those things. So again, I'm being very, very careful. And doesn't that look so much better? I think it does. Again, it's a personal preference. That's why there's so many different types of pathways and things and floorings that you can use, because people have different preferences. So I'm getting low on my wood there, but that's okay. Low on my flooring. We have plenty of trees to knock down, and we have an endless supply of wood. And I didn't start on this until I was sure that, first off, I needed to have time to do it. I wasn't doing other things. And secondly, I wanted to make sure I had plenty of wood, and we have had plenty of wood, and we always will have plenty of wood because it's an renewable resource. So you chop them down, they come back. Now, except for the farm where we put other things, where we put other things, like this whole area was originally covered in wood. If you look at the progression screenshots, you'll see that it was completely covered in wood, and we've chopped it down and put other things there. So it's getting to be the end of the day, so we're just going to put away our resources. I'm going to put away those, I don't know why I'm keeping all those cobblestones. I won't use them again. But I don't know, I have a hard time after spending so much stone to get them. I have a real hard time. Oh no, I don't have enough of anything. It's like, oh, it's getting late. It's midnight. I hate being out past 10, and I certainly don't want to be out past 1. So midnight makes me nervous. So that's going to be the end of day 18 of year 3, and we got a little bit of money coming in. Not too bad. Honey, look at that, 380 per poppy honey. So poppy honey is really good. I think it's the second highest value. Not sure. We're in day 19 of summer in year number 3. And let's check our calendar. Today is Demetrius's birthday. That's wonderful. I bought this calendar in a previous episode so that I wouldn't miss birthdays. And the reason for that is I'm trying to be best friends with everybody in town. I'm pretty confident that I'm best friends with Demetrius, so I don't need to give him things. I mean, I can if I want to be a good neighbor or a good friend or good villager or whatever, I can, but it's not necessary. The ones that I'm not best friends with, I want to make sure that I hit their birthdays. If I hit their birthdays with a gift that is a loved gift, I cannot figure out if it's either 2 or 3 hearts. I think you get 3 hearts. That seems to be what I'm getting anyway. Maybe I'm getting close to that, whatever the previous heart was, and I'm getting 3. But irregardless, it certainly quickly gets that relationship up. So that's a good reason it's another reason to give gifts on birthdays and make sure it's a loved gift, because you can give loved gifts, liked gifts, neutral gifts, and hated gifts. And I seem to have really succeeded quite a few times to give Abigail a hated gifts. So she's kind of my nemesis. She's way down on my friend list, and it's like, oh my gosh, I'm almost scared of her now because I keep giving her the wrong gifts, and I'm going to have to work on that. But we'll get there. I'm kind of working down through my list as far as friends, and I'm not worried about being, best friends yet. I'm worried more so about being at least 8 hearts with everyone. And then once we get that done, then we'll move on to best friends with everybody. And the reason for that, aside from just part of the game, is that the ultimate goal of this playthrough is to reach what's called 100% completion. And pretty soon we are going to see how we can know that. How do we know how much game content we have completed? That information, as well as a tremendous amount of content, came in with the 1.5 update, and it was pretty astounding what was added in that 1.5 update. So we haven't really got into much of that content yet. We will. I see no rush to rush and do that. There's so much that we need to do with the previous content, but it doesn't matter to you guys especially. But there's this, I'll just say that there is a whole new landmass, new quests, new characters, all kinds of things. So I mean, it added so much, but we'll get there. Right now I've got so much to do and lots of things that we need to accomplish before we move on to new content. So I guess the reason why someone asked me recently on the forums if I had gotten into this new landmass, and I said no. There's just too much to do right now. We have a lot to accomplish before we move on to other things, and that comes from me. At the way the game came to me. I played the first, all this other content first, and then I got the new content and I played that. So we're gonna go ahead and just continue on here, and when I feel it's the right time, then we'll move on to that. I don't think it's the right time yet. I don't want to first off, I want my character to be stronger. I want everything to be just so. And, and again, it's all about farming still. But there's just other things. So we'll get there eventually. I'll show it to y'all. And that's the whole, it's the plan for this playthrough, is to get to 100% completion, and you'll get to see it all. I might mention that my 11-year farm that I'm playing, that I have been playing, I only got to about 86%, I think, or 87% completion. And I decided to stop that playthrough and do this one instead, because I wanted to share it with you guys. So on my channel, I will be sharing games with you that I just love. I mean, I've seen people play games that they really don't like, and I thought, why would somebody do this? I'm not gonna. It's my goal to show you games that I enjoy, that I like playing, that I thought was really fun. Because if I play games that are not really fun, then I don't think I'm going to be giving you a quality video. It's not going to be like, oh, this is so cool. It's going to be, oh, here we go. I don't want to do that. That's boring. And I just don't want to do it. So you can see I still need wood flooring down here. It's like, oh yeah, I still need to do that. We'll get to it. Don't worry. So that's how I work my channel. Everybody can do their own thing. Everybody, that's the beauty of being a content creator. You can do whatever you want. So for me, I'm going to share games that I think are really fun and cool, and I'm going to show you why I think they're really fun and cool. And my play style is quite different than anything I've seen. I mean, for years, I've been watching playthroughs and tips and things like that to help me with games that I was playing, but I've never seen anybody play the way I have. And by that, I mean slowing down and enjoying a game. So, that's why I thought this might be something interesting for a YouTube channel. It's something that's, just kind of relaxed and something to enjoy and savor a game, especially a game like this. And this point really came clear to me when I was watching a stream of a game that I was looking to play. And the streamer was like super power gaming through this game. I mean, rushing. And I realized after looking at the other games that they play, that's their style. They power game through things to get to the next game. And I thought, okay, I looked at it and it gave me some great tips and suggestions, but that person had played about, about 100 hours, they thought, in the game, maybe 80, something like that. And they had gone through about 90% of the content. And I thought, wow, I've played 100 hours. Then I had played about, at that point, or actually since then, I've played about 100 hours of that game. And I'm through a tiny percentage of that content. And I thought, okay, my style is definitely different. And I thought that maybe other people might find this play style interesting. And I've had quite a few comments from people that have said exactly that. It's like, wow, that's really a different way of looking at a game. And so I'm okay with the way that I play, and I'm grateful that there are so many of you who tell me that they enjoy it. So cool. Thank you again to my subscribers. I do appreciate you. And I appreciate your comments saying that, you like it. Hopefully I'm not putting you to sleep. That isn't my goal. It is to show you the more details and the nuances of such an amazing game like Stardew Valley. And while I'm replacing this cobblestone with my weathered thing, I'll mention my tabs and things that are on my main YouTube channel page. I do have a community tab, and the community tab basically I'm using to communicate with my subscribers, because unless they're not listening, or if they're not paying attention to my videos, then they're not hearing announcements and things like that. So the community tab is where I'm going to be making announcements of anything like a game change. If you're going to add a game or take away a game or pause a game, then that's where you're going to see that. And I also have been trying something new. I've been doing a preview of the games, the videos that will be coming up the following week. And it's posted first on the community channel, and then it's made public the day after. So that's where you can find out what's going to be coming up. And also there is an About tab. On the About tab, I actually put my upload schedule, and I do keep this current. So currently I am uploading episode of Stardew Valley on Mondays and Fridays at 11 a.m. American Eastern Time. And then I do one episode of Ken Seed on Wednesdays at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. And Ken Seed is a game that's very similar to Stardew Valley. If you haven't seen it, I encourage you to go check that game out. It's been compared to very similar to Stardew Valley in that they call it a farm simulation game. Personally, I think that's kind of not accurate. Farming is a little bit part of the game. It's certainly not this to me, Stardew Valley is a farm simulation game. Now, obviously, you can avoid farming and not play that part of the game, but it's like, okay, why would you? To me, it's all about this farm that you are gifted and what you can do with it and what you can turn it into. Whereas Conceit, it's just a small part. You get a farm in the game. You can farm it or you can choose not to. So go check that game out when you get a chance. There's a playlist for it. You can watch the first episode to kind of get an idea of what it's like. And then obviously, I'm going to continue this one until we are 100% completed. So we're getting there very, very slowly, but that's okay. Are we having fun? I also wanted to mention, while we have time here, is that down in this description of my videos, I always put what I think are useful links that can help you enjoy a game better, or things that I've used over the years. In the case of Stardew Valley, I have listed 3 different links. One is to the official Stardew Valley webpage, and this is Concerned Ape webpage that you can learn about the game, updates and different things, anything related to Stardew Valley from Concerned Ape, who is the developer of this game. And this is an independent game done by a single developer, which I think is astronomical. He has help with the I think the mobile version he got quite a bit of help with, which has been a recent thing, but really this is one person's vision of a game like this. All of the music and the sounds and the animations and everything, he did it all, so it's pretty cool. The second thing is the wiki, which is a complete wiki about this game. There is nothing you cannot find out about. Nothing, and I do mean nothing. So you go to the wiki, you can type in anything and it will tell you anything you need to know. Now, this I use with it depends on what I'm doing. So let's say an example. I want to give a birthday gift to someone, and they usually hang out at a certain place. If I go to that certain place and they are not there, and I go maybe check another place that they usually hang out and they are not there, then I may go to the wiki and search for their name. If you search for anybody's name, then it will tell you where they are any given day of the year and any variances. So some of the villagers might do something different on rainy days, for instance, and it changes by season sometimes. So those are reasons that I might go to the wiki if I want to save myself some time and trouble. Now you can, if you want to, find out the likes and dislikes of any given villager. So I could have avoided the whole Abigail thing if I'd gone to the wiki and searched for her likes and dislikes and things that she loves. So, I mean, I could have done that. I just didn't. I just thought we were pretty safe with certain items, and apparently I was wrong. So you can go to the wiki and learn about that. So there's lots of uses for it if you don't know how, if you want to know what something is, or you want to know how to find something you're looking for. So very useful link there, and a very well done wiki that's done by the fans. The third one is the official Stardew Valley forums. And this is an amazing forum of amazing community of people. They are more than willing to help with anything that you might need help with. So if you're stuck and you're not sure how to do something and you can't find it on the wiki, or you don't want to go to the wiki, ask on the forums. People are more than willing to help. There's also, as I've mentioned many times, there is a place where people can post their screenshots of their farms. So like I said, that's what I used to create my ultimate farm here is to say, oh, I love this little area here with the honey and the giant crops. And so that's how I ended up with that idea and incorporated it into my farm. So there's lots of things that you can find on those forums. And so I encourage you to go there. If you're going to play this game, definitely go there. Definitely create an account. Lots of people that can help you and are more than willing to help you. So those are the 3 links that you're going to find down in the description of all my videos. And I do it for any game that I'm playing. I give you some links that I've used in my play. So we're getting to the end of the day here, pretty close. And I wanted to double check to make sure I already got the ore, the iridium ore from our Statue of Perfection that our grandpa gave us a long time ago. And if you don't know what that's about, you gotta watch the previous episodes. And you can also look at the titles of the games. I don't know if I started putting in those extra title words with Stardew Valley in the beginning. I know I've gone back and kind of added some here and there, but I always do now, because I think it helps people be able to search for things and gives you an idea of what we're going to be doing, and kind of little teasers there and stuff. So keep the kilns going. The thing about that is, if, like I've said so many times, if you don't have the bars that you need to make what you want to make, you're going to be really frustrated. So keep them going so you can have what you need to work with. Every once in a while, I just want to take a quick run around the farm. It's like, okay, kind of getting an idea of things for the next day, or things I want to remember, or just take a look. And it's such a feeling of self-satisfaction to walk through my farm and watch things. Love to watch my crops growing. So, it's just, to me, it's very self-satisfying to end up with a self-sufficient farm, and I'm getting very close. So we're at the end of the day, which is 19 of summer, and I want to show you this. The ancient fruit jelly is $11.50 per. That's 24,000 from ancient fruit jelly. And now we're at 25,000 for the day. That is fantastic. So, as I've said before, we don't have huge outlays yet. We are going to have to get those obelisks that can pop you around the world fast, and they run anywhere from 500,000 to 1 million each. So eventually we'll get to them. And look at, oh my gosh, do you see? Do you see what is sitting over there? Look at what over there on the left-hand side. Oh my gosh. So, I was happy to see it. It's like, why aren't you down below? Why can't you be in the other area? And I don't know that it is or isn't. I was just walking through there and going, oh my gosh, look at that. I just can't take my eyes off of it. That's what a giant melon looks like, one of the giant crops. And the thing is, the Junimos can't pop them. They don't harvest them. So they'll harvest all the rest of the ones. But it's like, oh my gosh, we're going to have to take care of that one ourselves. But look, isn't that beautiful? That's why I want that to be down in that area below for decoration, because it looks so cool. So we'll go check that one after a while. I don't know that I've ever gotten 2 at once. I don't remember, but we'll check that. So we're going to check all of our animals real quick this morning, and then we're going to run up there and milk our cow and one of the goats. Goats give milk every other day, and I don't know which is which, and so we'll find out. Here's our milk. How about our goat here? I'm not trying to milk the chicken. Come on. We'll try this goat. Yep, that one worked. So eventually our goats will start to make more goats. I don't know why we haven't had any babies be born. It is a spontaneous thing. It's a setting that you can set on each of your animals, whether or not they allow for a spontaneous pregnancy. And I have set that, so I don't know why we haven't had more. At this point, it seems, it's been so long since I have been at this early stage of the game that I don't know how long it took me to get more. So I'm just trying to be patient. I know that we're in, close to over halfway of the 3rd year, so we'll try to be patient. And I realize I have another egg. It's like, oh my gosh. And I walk right out with it in my pack. It's like, what a dodo head. It's so embarrassing to see when you make mistakes like that, and then you guys get to see it. Because, I would just say that anybody that plays are going to miss things. And it used to bother me until I was watching that Power Gamer I was told you about. And I was seeing that they were missing things. I thought, wow, this is a power gamer who min maxes, and they are missing things that I would miss too. So I thought I felt a lot better when I found out about that. Look at that thing. Oh my gosh, it's big and beautiful. So I'm going to go ahead and let the Junimos, they're going to collect all of the melons that are ready to be harvested. There are, unfortunately, we weren't able to plant our entire field on day one of the season. I'm going to try in the future to do that. I just need to plan better. The bummer is you can't go buy seeds for the next season until the first day of the next season. So it's like I had to wait and see how many I was going to need. I had hoped that I would have enough seeds to plant all on my own, but it just wasn't the case. I had to go buy some, and by the time I realized that, it was the next day. So it's okay. We had the beginning of the season, we had a tremendous amount of things to do. We had to redo our entire planting area, and it just didn't have enough seeds from the previous season to be able to do what I wanted to do. So that's okay. No big deal. We're not stressed out. So it looks like that the Junimos have gotten a pretty good job done there. And I wanted to come down here and grab this roe from the rainbow trout. And so the fish that you put in your fish pond will give you different things. Nope, we don't have a giant one this time down there. They will give you different things. And roe is the most common. And then there's other things they'll give you that are uncommon. So boy, we're getting quite a few. We got 20 of those now. So I'm kind of waiting for the uncommon things from the rainbow trout. There's a reason. I have a reason why I picked that. You can put any fish in there that you want, and it will make more, except for the legendary fish. Your legendary fish, you get one, period, ever, per save. So come on, Junimos, finish up there. So I can go down here and get that big giant melon. It's like, oh, I was so bummed, but it was okay. No big deal. I wanted to triple check, and you never know when it's going to happen. It can happen any time throughout the entire season. So I've got 8 more days for that to turn into a giant melon. So keep your fingers crossed that's what we get. That tree was in my way right there, and I thought, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and chop the tree down and use the wood to put down the flooring that I wanted to put there. So this area right here, these trees right down below, I'm probably going to get rid of them. I haven't decided what to do with the area there that's right down below on the right there. Normally I just grow grass in that area because I need for making hay, extra hay for the silos, but I don't know. I haven't decided. It's still undecided at this time what I'm going to do. Probably going to get rid of all these mushroom trees. I just don't use the mushrooms that much. I know they can be used for crafting, making, or for cooking and things, but I just never have used it, so I don't know what I'm going to do. In my 11-year screenshot that I showed you guys, I use them for decoration basically. So I haven't decided what I'm going to do. As a 1.5 version of this game, you can, in a very special way, buy mushroom tree seeds. Prior to that, you had to grow your own, and if you want to, let's say if I want them all on the left-hand side, I would have to move everything out of the way, chop all the trees and stuff down from the left of those mushroom trees until the seed would drop, grow the tree, cut the other tree down, let that tree grow to maturity, and keep going. So that's how you used to be able to get those mushroom trees where you wanted them. Well, now you can purchase mushroom tree seeds in a special way. So I don't have to keep them. The only reason they're there is I don't have anything else that I want to put there yet. I'm not ready to do that area. So we'll get there eventually. We have lots of other things to do. So I'm going to check see if the Junimos have gotten everything. Yes, they have. So used an axe and 20? Yes, we just got 20 melons. Now, if you remember, I told you that it took 9 plants that would grow that giant crop. So out of 9 plants, instead of getting 9 melons, I got 20. So that's pretty cool. And I don't know any other reason for it. Like I said, I use them for decoration. And it's like, okay, we've got to replant this area. We're going to need a little bit of fertilizer. So I'm going to come in here and see, what have I got? I don't. I'm just looking at my seeds and see what I have and see what I'm going to plant and how long we've got. We've got 8 days left of this season. I'm trying to put everything away and clear out my box because it's like my inventory is like too full. I got too much stuff to be able to see what I'm doing. I got to clear things out so I can figure it out. I decided to grab some melons so I could put them in both the preserves shed for making preserves because it's very valuable. And I'm also going to take some and put it in the wine shed. So you saw that I had different qualities. That's how I could pick 21 of each, is I had different qualities. And I don't know that it makes any difference. I don't think that it does as far as quality of the wines. So I'm not sure. I don't think it's ever made any difference. I did chop down a tree that had a tapper in it, so I put my tapper away. And I think I'm done for now. The wood flooring, I believe I've got everything down that I need to get down. And then it's like, okay, we gotta go figure out what to put in here. So it's just like I said, I was trying to clean out my inventory so I can see what I had and then make a decision on what to do next. And so I was looking at my fruit. What I have? Well, I don't want to plant any more tomatoes and no more blueberries. I don't want to do any hops. I know some people that's all they grow because you use hop to make beer, and it's very it makes a lot of money. It's very lucrative. But first off, I don't like beer. I know it sounds really weird. I'm probably the only person in the universe that doesn't like beer at all. But I never have. So I don't know. I make mayonnaise and I hate that too. So I'm not sure why I have such an aversion to growing hops. I guess because you get the those things you can't walk through, the lattices or whatever they are. So anyway, I wanted to run to town really quick to get a few seeds from Pierre of things that we don't really have a ton of yet. So when I come into this next scene, all of a sudden I'm in a scene, and it's Sam. Look at Sam. What's he doing? Mayor Lewis catches him. Hey, what do you think you're doing? That's private property. Sam. Sam's like, I'm sorry, sir. So, look at the youth these days. Sometimes I wonder if this town isn't doomed. Oh my gosh. Of course, then they see me. I'm coming along. You saw that happen, Rhiannon. What do you have to say about this? And I don't know what difference it makes. I don't know what would happen if I choose each one of these things. If someone knows, please put it in the comments, because I have no idea if your choices matter on some of these things. So I don't know. You're right. Don't blame Sam. I'm going to stay out of it. So I'm choosing neutral ground. And so Sam says, all right. Mayor's like, ugh, I'll let it slide this time, Sam, but I don't want to see you doing this anymore. Got it? Oh, come on, for Pete's sakes. Yes, sir. So, this game, when you're talking about spouses and things, I believe Sam is one of the people that you can marry. I realize that there are people Sam's age that are playing this game, and he'd make a great choice for them. For me, I am retired senior, so I'm thinking, I don't want to marry somebody who rides a skateboard. That's why Harvey's really the only choice for me. And I wish that Concerned Ape would look at his audience and create a more variety of people to marry. So anyway, that's my little soapbox. What I needed to get is I wanted just to grab a few seeds that I don't have a whole ton of, and because I wanted to grow a few, and also looking at time frames of how long, 6 days for radishes. So that's a nice crop to have at the end of the season. I mean, if we've only got 8 days left in the season, I certainly can't plant melons. Those take like 14 days. I can do radishes. And I was also looking at the various flowers. Seeds are only, seeds. Wheat is only 4 days. So that's another good thing to plant. So I just thought I'd get some of those things that I didn't have a whole lot of, and I couldn't make enough of to fill my area. And I'm not going to be planting a ton of stuff. Like I said, I only have 8 days left in the season, but I did want to plant something. I don't like to not have things growing. that kind of bugs me. So we got melons down below. Our batch is still going down there, but I think that I think this will help I don't need a ton of radishes. I don't need a ton of wheat. I just thought, I'll just put some things in there so I don't have a completely empty field, and I want to get my radish supply up so that next year, hopefully, I won't have to buy any radishes. So that's just a few things. It's not a ton. I'm going to let a lot of this, the field go fallow, and that's okay. But let's go ahead and do some wheat. We do want to get some of that, want to get that started anyway. And I could have filled this field with wheat, but I thought, no, that's okay. That's enough for now. So that gets us pretty well going. You can see we have a lot of, by the way, can you see the cloud that's moving over? Isn't that a wonderful detail? So there's a cloud in the sky that's moving along, and you can see it. I think that's a lovely detail in this game. I love that. So what I decided to do is I'm going to come down here and I'm going to get the coral out of our fish pond. And how you do that is you just click your fishing rod and immediately click it again. And I leave one in there so they can continue to propagate themselves. And the coral, I have 3 of these ponds, you can see. And what I use that for is I combine that with the oak resin to make deluxe speed grow. So this is in preparation for the fall season. I want to make sure that I have a sufficient amount, because when the first day of fall comes, I have to completely refertilize my whole entire area. So that's why I am pulling these out. I'm going to put them in my chest and save them until it's ready in time to make more. I also want to run down here and collect one of these rainbow trouts, and they will continue to propagate themselves a little bit, and so there'll be 10 again. So and they will still I think it's between 8 and 10. They'll give you the special items and the common items, which is the roe. So we're doing pretty good on the roe that we're collecting. I think at some point we're going to take 21 pieces of that roe and put it. That was my first rainbow trout that I had to put back in my chest because I had taken it out to put in the fish pond. So I replaced the one that I had taken out. So as I said, the fish roe, you put it in the preserve jars and age it, and then you can sell it. So it's just a small revenue stream, but I think it's a good one. I like having variety. I've talked about that quite a bit. And so we're going to go ahead and keep making our bars. Right now we're working on iridium bars, and I'm also working on the iron bars. I want to make sure my supply stays up on all of the different ones, because you never know when you're going to need something and you need 5 bars of this or whatever. I just want to make sure that I have plenty. One resource that we are a little bit low on, and I don't like to be low on anything, is stone. And there's a couple of ways to get it. I could go to the mine, but 7:30 p.m. I decided, no, let's go to the quarry. It had been quite a while since I had been here, and it's you can get stone, you can get wood, and you can occasionally even get an artifact, and you can occasionally get something very, very special. I think we got our dinosaur egg here. Actually, did we get 2? No. I think it was we got 2 prismatic shards here. And I was like, okay, it's been a while, let's go clean it out. When you clean it out, then it can respawn for something later, and so that's why I thought we would take care of that real quick and just gather some resources that we always need more of. While I'm working on that, I am going to give you the secret word for this episode, and it is starfruit. And I want you to go down into the comments and make a sentence using the word starfruit. If you recall earlier in our episode, our starfruit was harvestable and we gathered it all. We made seeds from it. And like I've mentioned so many times, it is the most valuable, lucrative wine. I'm saying valuable, but I mean lucrative wine that you can get. Eventually, we're going to show that when we put it down in our cellar and age it to iridium quality. I'll tell you the difference between that and the ancient fruit wine, for instance, the difference in the value. So for this episode, the secret word is starfruit, and please make a comment down below utilizing that word in a sentence. So thank you for watching this far, and I appreciate you guys. So we're getting a little bit of stone here. I think we're over 50 now, but that's okay. We're also getting some copper ore, which we need. And now we just got some iron ore. So we're getting things that we need. This is not a wasted trip. It's just been a while. And plus, if I clean all this area out, then it has a chance to respawn, and it might be an artifact next time. You know, you never know what you're going to get. So I thought it was a good use of our time here at the end of our day. I also wanted to mention here at the end, I really do appreciate the comments people make. It really makes me feel good. And when people asking questions and things, I do appreciate that. So, you know, not only that, and I've had somebody ask me this, yes, the comments that I get not only make me feel good, but it makes YouTube like me better. YouTube looks at a number of things. They look at the subscribers, obviously. They look at the watch hours, so how many, how far in people are watching, how many people are watching. So I get there's like a total that totals it up. So it looks at that. It looks at comments, the amount of comments you're getting. So all of those things are things that YouTube looks at. So if someone is interested in helping me, which I've got so many of you that are and ask, the answer is watch my videos, like my videos, and make comments about my videos. All of those things do help me, and I appreciate it way beyond more than I can tell you. I truly do. So I just wanted to, somebody's asked me that recently, so I wanted to tell you, yes, everything helps. So I appreciate anything you guys can do to help me, and it will keep me doing this. I don't know, if nobody watched, I probably would still do it, I guess, but it's certainly a lot more fun when I've got other people along for the ride and the journey. So we're going to keep doing this as long as I feel like doing it, and as long as I feel like somebody's watching and cares. What is that awful nasty looking creature right there? Look at that. The game is kind of actually paused, and that black crow thing flies over anyway. As far as I know, there's not any use for that. I know people have asked before, and the answer is no, there's no use for it. So kind of weird, isn't it? Oh, by the way, we got a topaz, which is a valuable gem that we're going to put in our, I guess it's considered a mineral. So we're going to put it in our mineral chest. And we're going to put all these things away that we've been collecting that we got from our little trip there. Got quite a few forged items that we picked up that are the summer forgeables. So we're going to just put those in our chest. They'll eventually become of use at some point, somehow. Don't know when, don't know how, doesn't matter. And it's now 12:40 a.m. It's definitely time for us to get to bed. So thanks again for watching. I truly appreciate it. And if you haven't done so, please subscribe to my channel. That really does help me. Uh-oh. What? So, as I'm doing my outro, Harvey pops a question for us. Do you want to have another baby? And I clicked on yes. So you're going to have to watch future episodes to see how that turns out. So thanks again for watching. The most important thing is I want you to have a wonderful rest of your day.